It is also undisputed that the alternative for Germany, as stated in our program, that we are for the reintroduction of conscription in our country. Conscription is absolutely necessary for our national defense. What is also undisputed is that our soldiers must never be taken into foreign war zones, never, especially not into Ukraine. Our children, our sons, our soldiers will never die for Ukraine. And for this reason, the AfD parliamentary group will also coordinate with the party and take a lot of time to discuss exactly how to prevent this. Namely, what is supposed to come next week with the reintroduction of conscription by the CDU and SPD. I can only say good night, Germany. Because our boys, our sons, can then be sent to war zones by decision of this government, none of whom would go there in any form. You know my view, if someone wants war, then they should go themselves. Let a Friedrich Merz go to the border to Ukraine, he should serve himself, or a Lars Klingbeil, or all these war refusers from the SPD faction. They should just prove what they can do if they want to continue this war. I would really like to see that. We will definitely reject this conscription proposal, this irresponsible conscription proposal from the coalition in Bauschenbogen, because you cannot do that to our soldiers. We are committed to our national defense, but not to this brawling, this irresponsible brawling and warmongering in Ukraine. The AfD will never be available for that, stand for that. And above all, one more thing, we will never support any government sending soldiers to foreign wars without a parliamentary decision, wars that do not concern us at all, that do not correspond to our national interests. And that is why we are eagerly and with great interest awaiting the draft of this amusing coalition, which is no longer large but very small and has already lost the complete support of the population. After 100 days, Friedrich Merz was as unpopular as no chancellor before him. We await the draft for the reintroduction of conscription from this crash pilot coalition and will deliberate on it. In exactly 1 week, on October 14th, the EU Council will vote on the, I quote, regulation for the prevention and combating of the sexual abuse of children. And behind this regulation lies nothing other than the comprehensive general attack on central civil and freedom rights through total surveillance of every private communication. The planned EU-wide chat control is an absolutely totalitarian project. It means the de facto abolition of digital privacy. It is equivalent to the abolition of the confidentiality of correspondence transferred and amplified to modern communications. The effect is as if every letter could be prophylactically opened, photographed, and searched for allegedly illegal or undesirable content by a specially created, anonymous super authority. Even the Stasi could only dream of such power. The regulation undermines end-to-end encryption of digital messages and makes it possible to automatically search all private messages, images, or videos directly on users' devices. In other words, every citizen is placed under digital general suspicion and declared a potential criminal. Data protection, freedom of speech and opinion, and privacy would thus finally become historical relics. The supposed protection of children and the fight against sexual child abuse are a cheap pretext. The German Child Protection Association sees it that way too. The indiscriminate scanning of encrypted private communication is, according to the largest child protection organization, a deep intrusion into the privacy of everyone, especially children and adolescents. For the intended purpose, chat control is not only inappropriate but also ineffective. Criminals already use offline methods, or these so-called dark rooms, for their illegal activities, which would not be captured by the mass surveillance of digital private communication at all. This is clearly about entirely different objectives. Once such an instrument is established, the step towards a digital dictatorship of thought is not far off. First, the private conversations and correspondences of all citizens are indiscriminately and broadly searched for child pornography. Soon then, to any arbitrarily defined politically offensive content, so-called hate speech, insults to politicians, hate and agitation, criticism of government narratives of all kinds. We know all of this. The notorious error-proneness of the AI tools to be used opens the door to arbitrariness, intimidation, and opinion terror. Massive resistance is forming against these totalitarian plans. The messaging service Signal is threatening to withdraw from the EU market if chat control is implemented. Lawyer and journalist associations, IT experts, and an open letter from 500 scientists from 34 countries warn against the creation of an uncontrollable behemoth that threatens to suffocate civil and freedom rights under a gigantic mountain of spied data. Pardon me, I have a bit of a cold today. The chat control paves the way for a comprehensive digital surveillance regime that degrades the citizen to a puppet of supranational bureaucracies, and I believe none of us want that.